Today we are doing a sit-down video. 5 do's and don'ts, Christian edition. Know there's strife, don't have any expectations. We'll hold on to past hurts. Have tons of fun, have a lot of... Today we are doing a sit-down video about, you guessed it, 5 do's and don'ts as a new wife, but of course, Christian edition, because Jesus is at the center of my life and 100% at the center of our relationship, and that is the only way it's going to work. Let's be real. So without further ado, let's get into it. I am so excited. There's little to be said about what life is like, you know, after the honeymoon and etc., etc. So I'm excited to do this. I feel like I have not seen anybody, you know, post anything like this, and this is definitely not seasoned advice, and this is exactly why I wanted to share this video and I felt the Lord put it on my heart. Is we've been married, we got married October 20th, November, December, January, don't look at my nails, they're so bad. So basically 3 months. Has it been? I feel like it was a long time ago. Okay, so not seasoned advice. We are non-experts. However, we did our due diligence before we even started to date, and really worked on ourselves before, and sought counsel while we were dating, and tried to give ourselves the best foot forward. And I feel like it really has helped. The transition period is not as, let's say, they always say the first year of marriage is like crazy hard. Granted, I guess we are still kind of in the honeymoon phase a little bit. It doesn't really feel like that. It just feels like everyday life. But I'm just going to give you my do's and don'ts, what I have done wrong. Hopefully this relates to you, inspires you, helps you think a little bit, and maybe create some good habits with your husband. And let's get into it. I have my notebook and my coffee. We are gonna start with the don'ts, and we're gonna end on a happy note, and we're gonna do the do's. So number 1 of the don'ts: don't have expectations, because you will be let down. I cannot say this enough, not even in marriage, but in friendships and other relationships. Don't have any expectations. And I'm not even talking like big, huge ones. Let's be real, ladies. When we think like cooking a fantastic meal, we spent hours slaving away in the kitchen, and we expect their reaction to be way bigger than it is, we get hurt. One tiny, shallow example, but I'm just talking in general. Do not have expectations. Communicate clearly about what you do expect, so you guys have a baseline, and go from there. That's number 1. Number 2, this one's fun. Don't hold on to past hurts. It only drives a wedge and only leaves room for Satan to destroy. He wants your marriage. So at the time of the hurting being done, and you know, people say you're sorry, you say like, I forgive you, you forgive me. That is that. I have done this multiple times, and it is no fun on both parties. Like, if you put your feet in his shoes, it's no fun for him to hear what he's done in the past when he like already feels bad and you've already forgiven him. That's no fun to have it being brought up again. When you say, I forgive you, like in your heart, you've like brought it to the Lord has helped you forgive him for that hurt. That is that. You move on. Speaking from experience. Okay, number 3. Don't keep score or records of who did what. Definitely when you get into the rhythm of, you know, who cleans what, who doesn't clean what. It doesn't even have to be related to cleaning. Do not keep score of who did what or what not. Genuinely, this takes time with prayer and repetition, is having a heart to serve each other. My parents always say out serving each other, and obviously that is so difficult. That is why we need the Lord to do this. But try and outserve each other, and do not keep records of who did what, who didn't do what. It it's just so icky for each other, and then you feel like you have to like outperform each other, and marriage is not about performance, you know what I mean? So speaking from experience, these are all things I have done, we have done. Don't do it. Number 4, don't get mad when your house never stays clean. It's gonna happen. Like, you guys are first moving into each other, you're getting a feel for his cleanliness and how he cleans, and like you're stepping into it and he's stepping into like your bubble, your routine of how you clean and who makes like the mess, I guess. You're just trying to navigate everything. With that, your house, well, please comment how to keep your house clean. Like I said, I am not seasoned. Please, I need help in this area. But I know it's so frustrating and it's so easy to dwell on, speaking from experience, that like your house just doesn't stay clean. Like, you clean it and it just gets dirty. Just, I don't know, I guess just have some grace with your house and him, that like it's not gonna stay clean for long periods of time. That's why I try and do like daily cleanses. Last one for the don'ts. Don't stay mad at each other for long periods of time. The enemy loves to dwell in that space. So that's very self-explanatory, you guys. When there's a fight, oh my, it's hard. It's harder to be the first one to say sorry because we're stubborn and we're prideful. After that fight or whatever, dynamic discussion, pray for the Lord to soften your heart, to have a conversation about forgiveness and how you can quickly forgive each other, because the enemy wants that space. Like, he dwells in your thoughts in that space. I mean, everyone can attest to that, I feel. The quicker you can bring that unity back together, it's just better. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just better. So those are my don'ts. And moving on to the do's, okay? Number 1, over communicate even the little things. So this actually is like a bounce off of the first don't that I have, and is like, don't have any expectations on anything. Over communicate saves everything. And even to the things you don't even think to communicate about, just do it. This is something I've really had to work on, because it's so easy, especially like when you're single. It's just you're not doing life with somebody else. So it's definitely a good habit to get into in the first few months of marriage, that I learned quickly on is necessary. I mean, about everything. Money, where you're going, for safety reasons, your desires, your goals, what do you want, your life to look like when you all of these things should be, discussed when you're dating. But I feel like it just brings so much more unity and trust and respect between the two of you guys. Number 2, budget together. This is maybe a hot topic, controversial, I don't know, but money is like the number 2 cause of divorce. And we don't even say the D word in the house. So our mindset behind budgeting together is a few things. One, we did it when we were dating, actually, and it stuck. And he wants me to be on the same page about money as him, in case something happens to him or in case something happens to me. Like, we're not just stuck, where's all of our money kind of thing. So, although a lot of money talks, budget talks early on and in dynamic discussions, it gets easier and you get on the same page and you're able to sit down and dream together and using what you have diligently. And that's something like very biblical that God calls us to do. It's God's money, it's not your money. So all around, budgeting together, it is very difficult in the beginning, but it works on, obviously, not only being vulnerable about what you spend, it's a good time to like bring unity after the separation of dynamic discussions, if that makes sense. Number 3, make sure as a new wife, you are chasing after Jesus first. Your cup needs to be full in order to love him well, in order to love other people well, you have to be full on the Lord. Like, the Lord gives you different kind of love, you guys. A sacrificial, easy to forgive, a humble heart. He just gives you something you cannot have alone. You're able to love him so much better. And that brings me to number 4. Okay, your prayer life should be a lot about him. And this is not a rule. This is my personal opinion. And this is something I have struggled with, and it's hard to. And you realize how selfish you are in your prayers from what I'm gathering about myself. It is so good to get into the habit of praying for your husband, about leading, about equipping him, about whatever is on his shoulders that is making him stressed. Like, Lord, I pray that you will remove that. I pray that you will equip him to be a warrior for you. I pray his conversations will be sweet. I pray he will be able to witness to people today. Like, even stuff like that, the little things. Prayers are our weapon against the enemy. And the more you pray, the more God hears you and the more he will bless you. So in marriage counseling or premarital counseling, we got the wife of the couple that we did it with, love them. She gave me this piece of advice that will stick with me forever. And it is so crazy to see how the Lord works. She said she would pray for that and pray for God to speak to him about this certain thing. And like, it worked. Like, the next week or the next day or whatever God's timing is, he would go to her and be like, hey babe, this has been on my heart, blah blah blah. And it would be the exact same thing that she prayed for. Like, is that crazy? God is so good. I have been doing that over our marriage, our 3 months of marriage, and it works. I'm like, God, you are so good. Like, if I didn't need other evidence that you are real, you are real, okay? For example, maybe you don't like the way he's been stressed. This may be a bad example. Or how that stress is kind of being taken out on you, maybe. I'm making this up. And you ask God, Lord, I pray whatever, that's stressing him out, I pray he'll be able to communicate that to me. I pray that I will be able to help him relieve stress. I pray, he won't take that stress out on me. And maybe the next day or the next week or the next month or whatever it is, he's like, I'm, XYZ. It has worked. Like, I've seen it. It's just such a good habit to do. Instead of nagging him, instead of like bashing him, just pray about it. It could be the simplest of things. That has been a marriage changing habit that I have been doing, and it has been very good. Number 5, let your words encourage, uplift, move him, let him feel desired by your words, loved by your words. It's something that we as wives have to be so intentional about doing, and it's a selfless act, okay? Because not all these sweet, loving words pour out of us like honey, okay? It is something we have to be diligent. And writing this down, I was like, gosh, I don't even think I don't think I've been good at this. So writing this down made me accountable, and like, I need to step it up. Let my words encourage him, respect him, make him feel like he can do anything with God. Like, you guys know what I mean. Just truly encourage him. Guys do not get words of affirmation a lot, if ever. It's not something they're used to being heard or receiving, and it makes them feel so good about themselves. And it is so inspiring and awesome to watch your man walk in confidence about himself, about his ability, about what God is doing in his life. It's It's awesome. So why aren't we as wives doing that more and more? Okay, and number 6, I was debating on throwing this in here, but I put have tons of fun and have a lot of sex. I know that is probably controversial. I don't even know why it would be, but it is something God has blessed marriage with. It is our gift. And I'm assuming if you're a new wife, you know by now, we are emotional creatures. We love to have the long talks. Like, that's what makes us feel close and loved and being in unity. But I'm telling you, like, they need it. We need it. Marriage needs it. So have a lot of it. A lot of the times you're gonna be not wanting to. That's the enemy. The enemy will try and do everything he can while you're married to not have that unity being brought into your marriage. So of course, one of you guys are gonna be like, yeah, no. Okay, but try and mentally get past that and know it's for the benefit of your marriage. I don't even know if I'm gonna put this in here because I'm scared. That is the end of this video. I hope this helps. My hope for and my prayer for this next year is that the Lord will just put topics on my heart to share about, to speak about on this YouTube channel. And I hope this resonates with you new wives and knowing that you're not alone, like we are in this together. I pray for you guys as new wives that you guys, God will equip you in your prayer life and in your community and in your church to be the best you could be. And I would love to hear anybody else's do's and don'ts as a new wife, especially those that are like seasoned, they've been through the thick of it, like they've been married for a long time, and I would just love to see it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this helped. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you in my next video.